Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of me talking about 7 things, I'm going to be going over a global showdown wish list that I have. Now before I continue, please check out the links in the description below. I highly recommend these surveys. And for this wish list, it's not necessarily a season 2 wish list, but if I had to choose, top contenders for each country's plus ones that I'm adding on, these are kind of my top choices. But, I don't want to see them all come back all in one season because there are some teams that I want to win and I don't want teams that I want to win battling each other. I just want one team that I want to win battling everyone else. But anyway, I have for the first group, Rylie and Cheeny as a duo and Terra and Kaila as a duo. Rylie is one of the last legends who we haven't seen come back, and Cheeny did really well on Last One Standing Season 3, so I think Rylie and Cheeny would be good partners. And Terra has completed 3 challenges, Kaila has completed several challenges, and she unfortunately hit a few rough patches with Last One Standing Season 3 and then XL Season 8, but I think Terra and Kaila could work well together. And the next group is Patrick and Eva, who I have as a duo, and then Amal and Amanda. I think Patrick and Eva have the connection with Jeff, which would be interesting, and Patrick and Jeff are friends, and Eva and Jeff kind of butted heads, but I think they would do well together, and Patrick would bring the drama. And then Amal and Amanda are both athletes, so I think that they would have a lot of endurance, and they would do really well in the challenges. And so I think that these 4 would work really well on a global showdown. Next, we have the Canadian Survivalists. And I am missing a few, but I think these are some of the duos that I would like to see out there if they were to bring in Canada. We have Shawn and Ashley, Sunny and Michael, and Chris and Elise. And Shawn and Ashley were on the same season, although they didn't do a challenge together, but I thought that they both would work really well together. I think Sunny and Michael would work really well together, and Chris and Elise know each other, so I think that they would also be good partners for these challenges, and I think that these 6 are good Canadian representation. Next up, we have Australia, and I would have Waz and Holly be a duo, and then Adam and Brittany be a duo. I think Waz has shown his ability to mentor, and he's not an overpowering mentor. He will give suggestions, but let his partner do what they want if they have an idea. So I don't think there would be any ego with Waz and Holly, and they're both really good survivalists. And then I think Adam and Brittany could be a good duo. It just really depends. And Adam has done a few challenges, and then Waz has won Last One Standing Season 1. So I think these 4 would be good choices to have for a competition series. And we recently saw Holly do really well on her challenge. Next up is Brazil, and my top duo choice would be Adriano and Andreza. They worked really well together on Naked and Afraid Brazil Season 3, and they were also on Naked and Afraid Brazil XL, and they worked really well with their partners on that, and they worked really well together, and I think that they would be a really, really tough duo to beat. And the next duo would be Nanda and Juliano. I think they are both really tough, and they were also on the Naked and Afraid Brazil XL, and I think that they would work really well together, and they're very knowledgeable about different survival skill sets. Now on to Team UK, I decided to go with Steven and Jamie. Steven has been very vocal about wanting to take on a competition series. He said he's wanted to sabotage people if he can, but I think Global Showdown there is no sabotage, so unfortunately he can't get the sabotage he wanted. Plus, Steven is the only UK survivalist to complete an extended challenge, and Jamie has experience with Last One Standing Season 3, plus Jamie would bring a little bit of drama, and Steven and Jamie know each other, so I think that they would work well together. And Sam and Jenny, maybe they can come back for a future competition series, but Sam had a difficult time with XL Season 10, and Jenny unfortunately had to tap from her 21-day challenge on day 7, so hopefully Sam and Jenny can get a redemption, and then they can come back for a future global showdown. I know Steven and Jenny are married, but I would like to see Steven work with someone else because that could make a different dynamic, and I think Jamie would cause a little bit of drama, and I think they're both very talented, so we shall see what happens. Next up is Team Latin America, and unfortunately I don't remember too much from seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Latin America. Hopefully we can have another crossover and we can see one of them on the American version. But I do remember Camilo did really, really well on his season, and he would be my top pick for someone from Latin America to be on Global Showdown. And the next person is a toss up, and I decided to go with Isabela, who was Pablo's first partner on season 1. And so I think that it'd be great if Pablo and Isabela could be on different Global Showdown seasons. But if there were to be another survivalist from Latin America to do another challenge, they would probably be my next pick. But for right now, Camilo and Isabela are my top choices for that team. Next up is Team Norway, and I'm pretty sure both these survivalists are from Norway. If I'm not, we can change this to Team Scandinavia. And I'm still very unsure on how to pronounce Iver or Iver's name, so I'm gonna say, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna pronounce his name Iver, and if it's wrong, you can correct me, I'm so sorry. But Ken and Iver, I think, would be good choices for Norway because I think they would work well together, and Ken is a beast and he will chop down all the trees with his massive axe if he is given an axe for his survival item. They're both pretty strong, and so it's just a matter of being able to complete their survival challenges, but I would like to see them both get a chance to be a duo and to take on the Global Showdown. Next up is Team South Africa, and I made this list before I saw the recent Naked and Afraid episode Ranger in Danger with Andreas, and I'm really sorry, but I may have to swap one of these individuals out with Andreas, but, you know, I couldn't really find any pictures of Andreas online, plus I already had all the visuals edited in. So for right now, Team South Africa would be Viktor, aka Handsome Santa, and Warrick Harvey. They both did really well on their challenges, and Viktor is a very positive person, and Warrick is a very tough individual, and he has his own bow making business. He's really good at using a bow and arrow, and that is a very important skill to have, especially if you're doing a competition. So I think they would work well together. And if I were to switch one out with Andreas, I'm not going to say who, but hopefully South Africa can be represented next season of Global Showdown if there is a season 2. Penultimately, we have Team New Zealand. And of course, if we're going to mention New Zealand survivalists, we have to mention Amber and Serena Shine. They both did an incredible job on both the challenges they did, and it would be great to see them back. I know a lot of the fans want to see them come back, but unfortunately, they both had kids not too long ago, so I'm sure we may not be seeing them for a little bit, but hopefully maybe season 4 or 5, we can see them return and they can show off their skills, and I think they'd be a great duo. And finally, we have Team Spain, which is Antonio and Atenea, and I'm pretty sure anyone from Naked and Afraid Spain who completed the challenge could compete on Global Showdown, but if I had to choose a top 2, I would choose Antonio and Atenea because Antonio showed a lot of skills and he had the highest PSR of the individuals who attempted Naked and Afraid Spain, and Atenea showed a lot of skills and she's a really good partner and very supportive. And there was a moment during the 21-day challenge where Antonio had a really low moment, but he was able to come back and complete the challenge, and I think Atenea would help him mentally and they would do really, really well. So hopefully we can see Spain being represented in a future Global Showdown, as well as the other countries that I mentioned that aren't going to be on season 1. But to reiterate the duos that I mentioned previously, from the US, we have Rylie and Cheeny, Terra and Kaila, Patrick and Eva, and Amal and Amanda. And then for Canada, we have Chris and Elise, Shawn and Ashley, and Michael and Sunny. From Australia, we have Waz and Holly, Adam and Brittany. Then from Brazil, we have Adriano and Andreza. And then we have Nanda and Juliano. From UK, I chose Stephen and Jamie. Latin America, Camilo and Isabela. From Norway, Iver and Ken. From South Africa, Viktor and Warrick, maybe Andreas swapping out if one of them is busy during time of filming. For New Zealand, Amber and Serena. And then for Spain, Antonio and Atenea. I really hope there can be a season 2 so we can have more people from different countries and different franchises of Naked and Afraid come back and we can see them and they can be brought into a whole new audience, and maybe they can come back for 14 or 21 or 35-day challenges for the American version, but we shall see. And I know there's also Naked and Afraid Foreign Exchange, which is the French version of Naked and Afraid, I believe, but unfortunately I haven't really watched any episodes, so I couldn't really pick who I would want to see, but hopefully we can also see France represented so we can have some more European representation. And that is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for listening. Please like, comment nice things, and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.